I think one of the biggest problems we have at the Delaware Riverkeeper Network is the lack of information coming out to the public to let everybody know what's going on here, to let them know about the spill, to let them know about the potential ramifications for communities, for drinking water, and for the environment. We have started to see information coming out about drinking water, but that information is confusing and conflicting. One moment the message is drinking water supplies are safe, but the next moment there's a suggestion that people might want to drink bottled, go purchase bottled water. And that back and forth is actually creating not just confusion, but for some people, a level of panic because they've actually been drinking the water. So the release happened late Friday night. It's really only been over the last 24 hours that people really seem to be seeing information. One of the things that's supposed to happen when there's a catastrophic spill event of this kind is a whole slew of entities, organizations, individuals are supposed to be notified. Amongst them is me in my role as the Delaware Riverkeeper, so that we can help ensure quality information is released to the public. So when the public calls us, we can give them the right answers. They're not monitoring the Coast Guard website. People are calling the Delaware Riverkeeper Network to find out what's happening. We get that kind of notification so we can help disseminate information to the public to say something has happened. If you see something, say something. Here's where you report it to. But instead, this lack of information meant that we were unable to help share the information with the public. We were unable to let the public know what they could do if they witnessed something like the plume actually moving through the water system. We weren't able to be part of that process. But that failure to notify the Delaware Riverkeeper Network, I think, is just one symptom of what we have seen since this spill event happened, which is a real lack of information, a lack of quality information, a lack of quantity of information, and a lack of frequency of information to let people know what had happened and was happening and what might be the implications for their community, their family, and for our environment. So we are definitely concerned about what might be the ramifications for the environment, for Otter Creek, for Mill Creek, for the Bristol Marsh, and of course, the river. One of the things that we're trying to find out at the Delaware Riverkeeper Network is what is the quality of environmental testing that's taking place in those ecosystems. We know that there is testing at the drinking water intakes of the raw water and then the finished water before it goes to people, and that's how the water purveyors are assessing whether, the safety of the water for people to drink. But we don't have an understanding at this point of the testing in the environment. So we are concerned, and we want to know what the data says. So one of the reasons why we are so worried at the Delaware Riverkeeper Network about whether or not testing of the natural environment is happening is because this is a really dynamic reach of river and a dynamic time of year. This portion of the Delaware estuary is critical habitat for our genetically unique population of Atlantic sturgeon, which is critically endangered. We're also going into the time of year when we start to see the shad migrate up the river, right? And there are bird migrations that are happening as we go into the coming days, weeks, and months. So this is a critical time for the estuary. Understanding where these contaminants are within the ecosystem and what might be the implications is really important. We think it is absolutely important that there is critical focus on ensuring that drinking water supplies are safe. But at the same time, we also want to make sure that our state and federal agencies are ensuring that the critical ecosystems of the Delaware River are also being monitored so we can ensure that they're being safe and or understand what's actually happening. One of the things that we see in the reports is that we hear that there have been no reports of impacts to wildlife, to aquatic life, or sightings along the riverbank, which is good to hear. But part of this problem with the public information that we are literally not seeing, is that at the very same time that there was a report of no impacts, for example, to wildlife, the agencies are not providing the phone number that people should call if they did see an impact. So I just want to say the number is 1-800-424-8802. If people are seeing something or witnessing something, please make sure you report it to that number, and also to the Delaware Riverkeeper Network at 1-800-8-DELAWARE, so we can make sure that that information is followed up upon.